Chris, thank you for having me. AudioTech, so my name is Carol Perez, and I'm with AudioTech, of course. And AudioTech has been in business for 45 years, over 45 years, since June of 1974. So it's been one of the foundations, one of the long-time businesses in Lawton. And about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I took over with some other partners in audio tech. So we are an employee-owned company as of 2017. So we've made it our own. You know, you hear that businesses take 3 to 5 years to be their own. It's we're in our third year, and so it's been interesting to say the least.
Excellent, excellent. So you've got how many employees right now?
We have 15 employees to include myself.
Excellent. And through this whole process, we've heard a lot of businesses have had to downsize, lay people off. Have you been lucky enough to be able to keep everybody?
Early on, I asked my employees to stay on with us. I told them, I said, if you guys just stay with the race with us, AudioTech will take care of you one way or the other. And so I did ask them if they wanted to be let go and go collect unemployment. And all of them were like, we're just going to stick with you. And so I appreciate that from them.
So through this process, a lot of businesses have had to close doors because of essential, non-essential status. So overall, your specific services are classified as non-essential, and expand upon those and typically what, on a day-to-day, non-pandemic basis, what AudioTech does specifically in the retail sense.
Okay, so we obviously have a storefront. We sell electronics, anything electronics. We sell car accessories, navigation systems, remote starts, anything to do with a car, custom audio. And on the home and commercial side, we sell receivers and TVs and other electronic systems. So with that being said, it would be considered non-essential. But we do have some of our business is essential.
And expand upon that a little bit. What specifically are you doing that's essential that allows you to have a revenue stream coming in?
Well, we are a service center for the breathalyzers, and these people that use the breathalyzers, they have to come in, I think like every 30 days or so, and we run a test on their system. So it's a diagnostic test, and they have to be able to operate their car. If they don't if we don't run the diagnostic system, their car locks up. And so those are set by appointment only. So we're essential in that sense. The other sense is that we do have the bid for City of Lawton Police Department, and we are currently adding cameras to each police car. So we're working on those behind closed doors. And essentials, so what is essential? Everybody has a different definition of essential. Not having a TV in your house or not working could be essential, because now you don't watch the news on TV, although we have mobile phones. But the elderly don't really use the mobile phones to watch TV. They use the regular TV. So that could be considered essential. But either way, our store is closed, temporarily closed, and we still try and service the customer through appointments only.
So in the appointment only schedule, because I'm assuming your hours have changed with this as well. How are you handling new processes with employees' interactions with customers?
So last week was really kind of our first week that I made it mandatory for our employees to use gloves and mask. We meet the employee outside of the building because our store is closed. They are not allowed to come in. So we use the gloves, and we use social distancing, and because customers are still calling and they're still coming to the store. So we want to be part of the solution for City of Lawton. So when we see someone approaching our store, one of our employees goes outside and tells them that we are closed. They are not able to come in, but we still talk to them using social distancing.
So with things being the way they are right now, with this uncertainty of when the lockdown's going to end, when when these executive orders and states of emergency will end. What do you see as your biggest pivot, the thing that you're going to have to shift towards if this is an ongoing process for more months than we think it might be?
Wow. So I've been thinking about that for a this, I think, I mean, not only my business, it's going to affect the way we're doing business. It already is, and it affects the way we think about business. And it's something, again, I've been talking to my creative team about. So how are we going to survive this even through the rest of the year? And so some of the things that we do is like surveillance cameras. Those are outside, so we can do that business. Anything outside we can do. Recently, we did a church. Nobody's in there, so we were able to do that business. But how are we going to survive in this pandemic world that is so unstable? So the way we're doing that is really by appointments only. Our hours used to be our store, well, not our store, but I was here from 8 in the morning till about 6 in the evening. Now I'm here from like 9 to 3, because everything's pretty quiet after about 2 p.m. around here. And so I think we're leaning towards uh, appointments only, people calling, and when people call, like to do maybe a remote start or a navigation system, we make sure we tell them you cannot come into the store. You need to make sure that you have a ride, uh, or you have somewhere to sit, because coming into the store is not an option. And so right now we're working by appointments only, and it might be the way we work for the next few months. But business has certainly slowed down, and again, I'm okay with that right now because I want AudioTech to be part of the solution in the stay at home or shelter in place.
Well, and I see that there's a lot of options that AudioTech offers that would be conducive or to help those that are having to stay in place. Myself, for instance, I've had to move everything into my apartment for typical setups and whatnot. I'm not operating on my studio anymore just because I was uncertain as to if there was going to be a full-time curfew versus just the 6 hours that we've got now. So it came to that point where I'm having to build an office and a studio where I live, and things get a little tight. So AudioTech offers options that would allow for that. So, long term, obviously, I see having to adjust for that. But
Mhm.
look as on a broad level versus just your business. But let's look at retail and services in general. How do you think this is going to affect brick and mortars from a storefront perspective? Let's say 6 months to a year, if this were to take that long. Hopefully, it doesn't. But if we're looking at that, do you see any kind of shifts or big pivot that it is going to affect the commercial landscape when it comes to storefronts and whatnot?
I think so. Again, it's back going back to creative thinking on how we're going to do that. Every day is different, Chris. Even this morning when I met with my crew, I said, "Hey, today's a different week. I mean, it's the start of a different week. I don't know what the week holds. The city council, we're watching them and listening to what they're having to say. So we're going to take it day by day, and we're going to use social media because people are going, they're still shopping, and they're shopping online. And how do we jump on board on that when we're a brick and mortar? So what we're going to start doing is really emphasizing our social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or other social media platforms that I have in place, to start selling some of our stuff, some of our electronics, but not necessarily to ship it to you, but deliver it to you, whether it's setting it on the steps or I don't know that part. I don't have it figured out, but every day it's something new, and every day we're figuring it out.
Well, being agile and dynamic is very critical at this point in time. I know a lot of people are having to shift very quickly and come up with new ideas. And the unfortunate thing is we come up with an idea and then a new law or something gets kicked into place, and then we have to completely shift again. So it's exhausting and frustrating in that sense. So right now, as people are sitting here, business owners and employees or people that are looking to procure services and product from you, what kind of advice are you giving out to just the general public, whether they be clients or potential clients, regarding this? Is this a sit and wait type of situation, or is this one of those things where you can still continue on with the process of getting designs ready and ideas ready? And how are you communicating that to clients and customers?
So, you hear the phrase, "We are all in this together." And so clients understand that there's some precautions that we have to take. We do have jobs that need to be done, and we're all waiting for that green light, that go light. And so every day we're like, is it today that we're going to be able to do this job? And the clients are willing to wait. Now, I don't know in the next 2 weeks what that willing to wait for the client will be, because like I said before, every day is different. And so you hear the president speak, you hear the federal speak, the government speak, and you're like, okay, they're going to open the doors, but this is not going away tomorrow. So it's definitely going to change the way we do things. And protecting my employees is my number one, by using the mask and the gloves. We'll be using those for a while, and we'll have to get back into business. Small businesses are needed, and a small business like mine, I mean, you just have to move forward. You just have to keep swimming and figuring it out day by day. And customers do understand.
They do, for sure, and especially when you are a value added business, that you are offering that kind of customer service and experience to people. They value that versus it just being a commodity. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that in this landscape right now of customer service being absolutely critical. So not only is it the service and the product we're offering, but making sure that we're having those relationships, because that's, I think, a lot of things that we're starved for right now, is that interaction and that connection with others. So being able to be open and transparent with your customers, with the landscape and the public in general, is, I think, an absolute critical piece. So you touched on social media. Are you modifying your schedule with social media, how you're posting, what you're posting about, and do you have any kind of plans for new kind of content along those lines?
So again, social media is one of those platforms that I haven't really taken advantage of. I've used it in the past, but I'm using it more and more. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to sit down with my marketing director today, and we're going to talk about what we're going to address this week on our social media platform. And I think it's just the way business is being conducted right now, and being in the presence of in front of those customers, because right now our phone is in our hands like never before. And how do we bring them in, not necessarily into the store, but give us a call? How do we have them initiate that call? And because people they're still wanting entertainment, they're still wanting TVs in their patios, it's still there, the business is there, we just have to find it.
I think the era of the couch potato has kicked back up again. I got a screen time alert on my phone during this weekend, and it said my screen time was somewhere around 15 hours a day. And I was like, good gravy, I am going to go blind looking at a screen all this time. And like right now on my desk, I literally have 5 screens on my desk, plus 6 if you count the one behind me. So it's definitely something that we're shifting towards, and hopefully we're able to shift this to something that can still keep us healthy instead of sedentary and just kind of lounging around. So want to throw up this information here and get it up on the screen. So if anybody's got any kind of needs or wants or questions regarding AudioTech, you can get a hold of Carol here at phone numbers 580-353-7772, or it's audiotechok.com. And is there anything else you would like to add to this?
I just want to encourage all the small businesses to reach out to your bank. And if you haven't done that PPP, make sure that you're doing it. People are scared right now. Businesses are scared that the government's going to run out of money. I do have some friends in the small business world. They're like, "Hey, Carol, let me know when you get your PPP." Trying to measure each other's uh, timeline, but just I just want to give you hope. That our hope is in our lean into God, lean into God, and He's our hope. And I try and lean into God every day, and really just keep a smile on my face. And I have a team to run, and if you have a team to run, we need to be transparent, but we also need to be strong for our own employees. Thank you, Chris, for having me.
Well, absolutely. It's my pleasure to, and thank you for joining me because I know that in this time that people may think that we don't have anything going on, but I think our schedules are getting even more hectic and more unpredictable. So for you to be able to carve out a little time for me, I greatly appreciate it. So if anybody has any desire to be on the show and to have their story told, make sure that you go to my website, chrismartin.tv/live-interviews, and fill out the form for a chance to be considered to be on the show. And we're going through the forms as they come through and seeing who has a good story to tell and would like to jump on and get the word out there about what they're doing, how they're shifting and pivoting in this time of uncertainty, because we know that it's crazy for all of us right now, and we want to provide some hope and some ideas and some collaboration for everybody involved. So if you're interested, like I said, go to chrismartin.tv/live-interviews and fill out the form, and we will definitely get your info and be in touch with you and see what we can do for you. So again, thank you, Carol, for being on the show, and we will see everybody later.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Bye bye.
Bye.